Hi, I'm Luke, and this is Garage Gyms Australia. This is the Freeform Freerunner curved manual treadmill from Gym and Fitness. Now, before anyone mentions it, yes, running outside is completely free. Doesn't cost a thing to do. And if you're someone who can go and do that, great, good on you. For me personally, I don't really like the idea of running on cement. I don't think it's good for your joints. Even if you choose to run on the grassed area next to it, it can be uneven, there can be dips. I just feel like it's not going to be optimal for your run, sprint, jog, whatever you're going to be doing. Not to mention that if your workout calls for a 1 kilometer sprint, you actually have to know where your 1 kilometer point is, or realistically where your 500 meter point is, so then you can run there and back to get back into the gym. You've got there for a kilometer and then go straight into your other workout. Personally, I'm just not going to do that. Whereas when I've actually got a machine inside the gym that I can't find any other excuses for, oh, it's raining outside, or it's too hot outside, or a bit windy outside, I'm going to use it a lot more. And I have used it a lot more. Every single workout I've warmed up on this machine before I do anything else. So, why would you want a curved manual treadmill? Well, firstly, you don't have to plug it in. Everything is run by you. You don't have to worry about upkeep. This, especially in a home gym, very minimal maintenance. You don't have a motor that's going to conk out on you. You don't have any wires affecting the speed of it running or anything like that. That's all you. And really, the only thing that you'd have to worry about is changing the batteries in the LCD monitor. That's it. Everything else, metal, solid plastic, rubber belt that runs around it, there's not much that can go wrong with this. So it's perfect. You don't have to do anything to it. Now, as for the curve part of it, not only does it get you in a better running position with your posture kind of leant forward, but it forces your feet to do kind of a sweeping motion up and behind you. And so they say it's meant to be the more ideal running posture, and it's more likely to mimic how you would normally run out in the real world. Whereas when it comes to motorized treadmills, the belts are moving around, and really, you're just lifting your feet up and down to make sure that you don't get thrown off the back of it. You're not actually doing anything. Whereas on this, you actually have to push. You're using your hamstrings to push the belt around. Every kilometer that you put on it is actually you doing it. Whereas you can leave a motorized treadmill going, and it's just going to keep going. It'll rack up the kilometers, but how much of that is actually you? Now, when it comes to the Freerunner and what made it stand out against all the other manual treadmills out there, especially the manual curved treadmills, because they are pretty popular and they've been popular for the past few years. But what stood out for me isn't just the drink holder on the front or on the side, but this lever. Now, this Freerunner provides 4 different levels of magnetic resistance, starting at basically 0, where you can just go round as per usual, all the way to 4, where it actually makes it incredibly hard to push this belt around. And if you want to keep it going consistently, you really have to work for it. Coupling that with the different positions of all these handles, a variety of them, coupled with the belt, now it can mimic pushing a sled. So now you've got your cardio machine, but then with the handles, with the magnetic resistance, you can actually turn it into a strength conditioning piece, which again, when space is a limiting factor, things that can do more than just one job, perfect for a home gym. So now when it comes to the LCD screen, it's pretty stock standard at this point. Nicely laid out, big screen, you've got target time, distance, calories. Then you've also got different interval timers that you can use. And then depending on your workout, you can provide yourself custom interval times as well. What I like about the design is the cradle area here, where your phone can go in portrait mode or landscape mode. Now just be aware that if you do put it in portrait mode, it will cover up the entire screen. However, you can mitigate that by putting it in landscape mode, and it actually keeps the top of the screen clear for your interval timers. Something to keep in mind about the machine is actually the dimensions. So yes, most people think about the length and the width when they're buying new pieces, they're finding a spot for it. But something I didn't think about is actually how tall the running deck is. So it's about 30 centimeters, if not a bit higher, off the ground. And therefore that adds that much more onto your head height. And if you've got low ceilings, you're probably not going to be running too far on that. Now I'm 6'2", and luckily I've got open beams where I can run in between them and be fine. But if you've got a solid roof, just double check that. Now, something else to keep in mind is that if you do plan on moving this around all the time, perfectly fine if you've got a huge open space. But if you're like me, where it kind of lives in the corner near the roller doors that you're moving every now and then, is that these handles, as amazing as they are for the sled pushers, they do get in the way when you're trying to wheel it around. So obviously you pick up at the back and you're tilting at the front. These then get pushed further in front. So if you want to butt it up right up against a wall, you're going to have to move it as close as you can, push it down, and then kind of manhandle it closer to where you want it. But that's just something to keep in mind. You might not have an issue with that. Obviously, this is a commercial grade treadmill. It's made for commercial gyms. So you wouldn't have an issue if you do run, a giant gym-sized gym. Anyway, you'll be fine if that's your case. If you're in a one-car garage like me, then you'll have to get a bit more handsy with it. I would like to see another bar or handle at the front, just like it has at the back, and that would help shifting it around. But you know what, it's a small thing, and if that's the only issue with it, then I'm pretty happy with it. I just want to give a big shout out to Gym and Fitness, who made the whole process of buying the treadmill super painless. I ordered on Tuesday, it was delivered by Friday of that week. So a 3-day turnaround, really can't complain about that. I reached out to them to ask a few questions about the treadmill, and I think it was within half a day that I received all my answers back for it. So, if you are looking for a curved treadmill, have a look. The link will be in the description. I'll also put the discount code there as well. After having the Freerunner for a few months now and using it for every single workout, it's really changed my opinion on treadmills in general, especially manual and curved treadmills. They're far more versatile than I initially thought. I was expecting just to kind of increase my cardio, do some HIIT workouts on it, but really this thing can do it all. And as I use it and as I kind of keep looking into curved treadmills and what you can do, the amount of exercises that you can get done with this, especially with magnetic resistance, is crazy. So I'm actually excited to continue looking at more ways to utilize it in my training, and I don't think I'll ever get bored of what you can do with it. But what are your thoughts? Do you have a curved treadmill? Do you have a motorized treadmill? What are your pros and cons? Would you consider buying this for your gym? Let me know. If you've watched to the end, thank you, I appreciate it. Are there any pieces of equipment that you would like to see me bring in and review? I'm always interested in spending money and buying new stuff. So let me know. And always, do it for yourself.